Welcome to the 100th episode of Naturally Empowered Living. Can you believe it? Gosh, what an incredible journey it's been. From our very first episode where we tackled the overwhelm, the chaos, the survival mode so many of us feel trapped in, to today where we continue to explore those depths of living a naturally empowered life, right? We've grown, we've evolved. I couldn't be more grateful for each and every one of you who has been on this journey with me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly. This episode is a celebration of all that we have been through together, all that we've accomplished together, all that we have learned through, grown through, and also a look back at how we've deepened our understanding, the evolution, embraced some gray areas, leaned into the messy, the magical journeys of life. And to show my appreciation, I am thrilled to announce a special giveaway at the end of the episode, but spoiler alert, I am giving away 3 free energy healing sessions. I will share the details on how you can enter later in the episode. Stay tuned on that and enjoy. Mwah. Hey mama, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey to learning your energy of alignment and feeling good again. This is your weekly sanctuary to wake up from autopilot and transform the way you approach motherhood and life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It's my mission to help you embody the foundations of self-love, trust, and inner connection to be unapologetic in the evolution of who you are. Here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light. If you are ready to get to the roots of cultivating real change, warm up that cold coffee, pop in your earbuds, and tighten that top knot, mama. Let's discover our power within together. Wow. I sat here waiting to press record because I didn't know how to start this episode. I've been sitting here the past 5 minutes just soaking this in. This is the 100th episode of this podcast. Happy 100th episode. Thank you for being here. Thank you. This is it's a huge milestone. And it's funny because as I was gearing up for this, or not gearing up, but writing out the outline and stuff, I'm just oh yeah, okay, sure. It is what it is. It's just a number. But then right when I sat down to record, I had this flood of emotion and memories and where I was and all that I just the growth of our journeys, the evolution of our journeys, the crap that we've gone through, the hardships that we overcame, the awareness that we have to come to be able to reach that breakthrough. All of these emotions just flood to the surface, and I was okay, Jenna, ha ha ha, you didn't think that this was a big deal, but I'm a very sentimental person, so everything has meaning and purpose to me. So this is such a huge milestone, and we have just grown and evolved. And we've laughed and we've cried and all the things that make us human. And that's why I wanted to share me just sitting here before I pressed record, because sit there, take a second to really just embrace all that you've been through, what you have grown through, what you have evolved through, what you've laughed and cried and felt. Do we ever take that time to sit and actually be with our feelings, to feel, gosh, that was a really hard day today, or gosh, that was such an amazing day. I love the way that, excitement makes me feel, or yeah, all the things that make us human. It's just, I don't even know where I'm going with that. But from episode 1 of this show, the title was Struggling with Overwhelm, Chaos, Negativity, and Feelings of Being Stuck in Survival Mode. What is the Balanced Mom Method? The why, the culture, the top 10 values, and what to expect from this show. Granted, minus changing the name, from the Balanced Mom Method to Naturally Empowered Living, that's it. We are doing an updated version through the evolution of the past 100 weeks, the past 100 episodes. Not a lot has changed. I'm going to be completely honest. Not a lot has changed, but so much has changed, if that even makes sense. Of course, some verbiage has changed, and I feel that there's a lot more invitation of freedom and space for you Because what if I've learned anything, like it's the beauty of our own experience. It's the beauty in the journey of our soul, the journey of our human experience. And how the heck, like how hard is that to teach someone, right? Like how hard is that to like teach someone, like to take the ownership, to take the accountability, to take the awareness and the intentionality. Like you have the power within you, you have the wisdom, you have everything inside of you that you need to be happy, to reach your breakthrough, to overcome XYZ. Like you have it. So not a lot has changed in the past 100 weeks, but that freedom for you to figure out what it is for you, that space for you to maybe, insert your own terminology. I always say that, right? So there might be like a little more gray area, and that's so funny because I used to think like gray area was like wrong and bad. Like I want it to be black and white. But I've said this from the beginning, like nothing is ever cookie cutter. And I will never, ever, ever give a cookie cutter approach. And I feel like we've just kind of gone deeper into that unfolding because I was scared for so long of, I don't have a perfect, concrete, rigid solution answer for someone that, comes to work with me. Because I can't tell you go do XYZ and you're gonna reach your goals, because we're all so different and you have to find it within yourself. However, what I've learned is like I know I have the tools, I have the resources, I know how to help you. And it's that power within you to take that accountability, like, hey, let's join hands, let's do this work. But for so long I was so fearful because, I don't just sell a product. Here, take this, or, do this and reach this. Like, it's not an easy, tangible point A to point B. Like, there's a lot of work that, it takes, but like, I keep coming back, right? I keep coming back. This is my soul's work. Like, this is my mission to help you learn your energy of alignment, to come back home to yourself, to find, if you're struggling, to find who you are, to be confident in your voice, to be confident in who you are, to express that, to express that in the world, and to live out that expression, to live your purpose, to live your soul's path, to be yourself and to be confident in that person. Okay, let's dive in. So the 10 cultural values that I don't even know what to call this, right? But like the 10 things that make naturally empowered living. Like, what are our values here? Like, what are our core values within naturally empowered living? Number 1, first and foremost, I want you to know and hopefully to feel that this will always be a safe space for you. All things naturally empowered living. And you have a friend in me and everything about this mission. Like the traits of what a friendship is, the truth, the awareness, the relatability, the hope, the consideration, the love, also the tough love, to help you, almost bring awareness, maybe to pull things out from under the rug, to be able to help you in the long run. And like, that's the thing, just that tough love, because there's power in vulnerability. There's power in, in showing that we don't always have it all together, right? So also to bring a sense that you are never alone, that there can be and is a community if you allow it to be. Like the connection and the community that is brought within naturally empowered living, because life can sometimes feel like a lonely road, right? Especially when you're struggling through something. So please know that you are never alone, and to reach out to your support system and your safe spaces, and this can be one. Number 2, autopilot does not have to be your normal. Your feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, living like a robot, going through the motions day after day after day after day, it does not have to be that way. And so many of us live like that and feel that it is the only way, because that was me for years and years and years and years and years. But you have a voice. You have a purpose. And I feel that we get so skewed and off track so easily with ourselves and that purpose, because we get stuck, right? We get stuck living within that autopilot, living like that robot, going through the motions of the mundaneness of the day to day. And there's a lot of external factors in life that aid to keeping us stuck. So it's going to take work, because like attracts like. The more you do something, the easier it is. So the more that you're living on autopilot within that cycle, the easier it is to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. Like, what's that saying? Oh gosh, something about being comfortable. Like nothing ever grows there, or, your life begins at the end of your comfort zone, or like the enemy loves company, right? Like the more of us feeling stuck, the easier it is to stay there. And a little segue here is, when we're living in a little bit of that lower vibrational state, it's easier to breed more lower vibrational qualities. Again, like attracts like. So like jealousy. Ugh, why can't I be like Karen on Instagram who has it all together? Or your comparison. If only I had the financial inheritance or situation like Brenda does, I'd be so much farther along. Or judgments like towards yourself or others. Like, what does that do? It's breeding more and more and more of that. It keeps us in that lower vibrational state. Like it's time to wake up from the autopilot. Which brings me to our next, number 3, is thinking differently. Perspective shift. I like to call this our mindset loop. Like what I was just sharing about being stuck on autopilot. We're going through the same negative mindset loop no matter what the situation, over and over and over again. Our mindset loop so what our mindset loop is, it's picture like the recycle sign, right? Like kind of that cycle with the arrows in a circle, okay? So up at the top, you have your beliefs, okay? And then going down, so your beliefs govern your thoughts. And then your thoughts are going to dictate your actions, which produce your experiences, which loops back up to the top, which is reinforcing your beliefs if you're stuck on autopilot. Or you could break that cycle and start new patterns and mindset loops and rewirings or whatever, you want to call that. So within having a perspective shift, you can choose to think differently. You could choose to see differently. You could choose to do differently. We could harness a new narrative, one that's rooted in love and gratitude, seeing things through a lens of love and gratitude, and everything that we do and believe and act on. It all starts within ourselves. So that's why I'm like bringing it down to those cores of love and gratitude, because everything down to its core, all good leads from love and leads from gratitude. It does. And that all starts within ourselves. So this is my opinion here. I believe that a lot of us struggle because we get so caught up in our own minds. And I feel like, that's kind of common. Okay, like keep going, right? But we have to think differently. And I'm so stoked to help you transform, how do I think differently? How do I come from the core, that baseline of love and gratitude, and kind of changing that perspective? Because so often we get caught up in the victim mentality, in the justification, in the excuses, in the problem-focused lens versus the positivity, the gratitude, the love, the I'm going to figure it out lens, or putting yourself in someone else's shoes if they're projecting something onto you. Know that it has nothing to do with you, right? It all comes down to that core perspective. So those fears that are anchoring us down and those limiting beliefs that are holding us back from what we believe or don't believe that we can do, like we all have them. I still have fears. Like I still have limiting beliefs. I still have these root cause emotions, stuck emotions that I'm still working through. Of course, we all have them. So you're not alone. Like you're not alone here. It's within reframing that perspective. It's in reframing that mindset loop into believing and having faith and having hope. Because I believe as a collective, when we come to a core perspective coming through love and gratitude, it changes everything. It rises everything up. But we have to start with thinking differently. Which brings me to our next. This is so lovely how it's all like correlated, and it's almost like answering the hows from like the one before. So I just love how this is flowing. I hope that it's flowing easily for you too. Number 4 is awareness and intentionality. Like this is it. How do you wake up from autopilot? How do you think differently? How do you take back control of your life? How do you feel good again? Through awareness and intentionality. Step 1. Only you can rewrite your script. Only you can choose to be happy and have a good life. Only you can make that start, can take that first step. So the inner work and the outer work, it starts here. What do you want? How do you want to feel? Who are you? You hold the power and all the answers inside of you. And once you are aware of what your limiting beliefs are, once you are aware of what your habits are, once you are aware of your mindset loops and struggle patterns and desires and joys and pleasures, then you can take action towards overcoming or reaching what those are. Awareness is often step one, and it's often a step that so many people skip and wonder why or how, why am I stuck? Why, it's often so overlooked. It's so foundational. So then after you bring awareness comes the intentionality to the change or the desire or whatever that is. You have to take ownership, responsibility, accountability for your life, good and bad. Like I'm using air quotes because they're good and bad in the sense of like the changes that you might want to make or the desires that you want to, live in. So through this, you can begin, letting go of strongholds, releasing expectations, communicating expectations, releasing pressures, conformities from, society, other people, yourself, right? Anxieties, vices, whatever that might be, those strongholds. Because through the awareness, that's where the clarity comes. And then the intentionality to reach whatever that destined thing is for you. Like, I feel like I could have written so much more or like spoke on so much more there. And I hope that was a legit summary and got my point across. But this also, of course, builds on to number 5. There is no spiritual bypassing within naturally empowered living. Yes, I believe in the power of energetics. Yes, I believe that our innate natural state is of peace, presence, confidence, clarity, belief, joy, love, balance. But do we live there 24/7? No. Do we go through shit within our lives? Yes. Do I think that one energetic clearing can cure years of anxiety? No. Can it help raise your vibration in those moments to help you get back on your path of alignment to then take action towards, relieving your anxiety long term? Absolutely. So here, we're feeling our feelings. We don't expect that an energy healing or saying affirmations or writing out a gratitude list is going to solve all of our problems doing it once. Are those amazing? Heck yes, because it's raising our vibration. But there's something again here that's almost like that missing step. It's the continual work, the continual awareness, continual intentionality of raising that baseline, of living from a state of gratitude, not just writing it down on a paper. Like every season, every stage of our lives, our children's life, going through different developmental stages, or having a rift with your spouse, or, growing, evolving as a person, like we're learning new things, we're changing a job, we're losing a job, we're getting sick, we're going through turmoil. It's always going to happen. So I'm not like doling hardships here. That's why I'm saying like we're not spiritually bypassing anything. We're feeling into it. However, once we also accept that we're going to have them within our lives and we're aware of it, then we can take intentional actions forward to, raise that baseline up to that innate state of feeling peace, presence, confidence, clarity, belief, joy, love, balance, like living in that state, finding our energy of alignment and living there. But we're not spiritually bypassing point A to point B. Like there's a lot of work in between. Which brings me to our next, number 6, is syzygy and balance. You probably understand balance, but syzygy is a term that I have grown to love. I actually learned it in my instinctive meditation certification. That what this means, think of like an infinity symbol, okay? It is the full, seamless flow of energy and awareness that leads to integration and the wholeness of being. So syzygy is that infinity loop. On one end of the spectrum is, you feeling energized. And then on the other end of that infinity loop is you feeling relaxed. On one end, you're anxious. The other end, you're calm. On one end, you feel empowered. On the other end, you feel vulnerable. So syzygy is the joining together, bringing opposites into that alignment and that union. So it's the dance between the opposites leading to that union of the center of that infinity loop. And that center, to me, is that balance. So in life, like we tend to want to favor one side, like one is better than the other. Like I always want to be energized. I always want to be calm. I always want to feel empowered. But in true syzygy, these polarities, they're complementary. We instinctively like need rest, right? So they need each other and both are essential. I love, love, love this quote from Meditation Secrets for Women. It says, when you do not resist the swing between the opposites, the oscillation gives rise to a third state, integration beyond the polarities. Integration beyond the polarities. Like I have chills. Like to me, that is the balance. That union is the balance. And to me, balance can exist. It doesn't always look the same. You may have reached it just for a moment today because we're always constantly evolving and flowing, and we have new seasons, we have new emotions. Like we're flowing through different syzygies within our life. But hell yeah, you could be both. You can reach that union. You can do it all. You can give your children and families the best and not at the expense of your own health, self, and well-being. That balance of, okay, I'm giving to my kids today, I'm giving to me tonight, right? We shouldn't have to choose between our family's priorities, ourselves. We can do it all. And it starts within ourselves. It starts with the awareness. It starts with the intention, with the thinking differently, with the taking ownership. Like this is like my entire mission behind what I do, like finding your energy of alignment to live your life that you're destined for. Like perfection, throw that out the window, like it doesn't exist. However, that continual dance back to the center does. And this brings us to our next, number 7, is honoring all parts of yourself. The messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, the anxious and the calm. Like I'm probably going to start repeating myself here, but I'll try to do it in a different light. So a lot of what we are, what we do, we're conditioned to think and do and be certain ways. Like in a lot of that is we're conditioned to shove down the quote unquote bad parts of ourselves, shove down the emotions, don't cry, don't do this, don't give them attention. Heaven forbid, don't let them be seen in the outer world. Like I was just telling my son the other day, like, and I think I just shared this on a recent podcast episode too, is our emotions are simply present to tell us something. Like when our emotions arise, like let it be anger or sadness or frustration, like they're coming out to communicate something with us. So if we're busy shoving it under the rug, we're not learning what is communicated with us. We're not getting to that root of why it's being shown, right? So when we honor all parts of ourselves, all characters, all emotions that make us us, that's going to lead us to then living in unconditional love and self-trust and self-connection with ourselves. And adding on to this, number 8, is being unapologetically yourself. Be you. Once you can fully honor and embrace all parts of yourself, loving yourself, trusting yourself, connecting with your true essence, like you are magic. You are magic. Through everything that I've shared thus far, this all aids in you uncovering to your core who you are. How can you step into her unapologetically? Like open that throat chakra, girlfriend. Like use your voice, tune into your sacral chakra, express yourself. Like I could go on and on. Be unapologetically yourself. Again, let go of those strongholds. Let go of those expectations. Once we gain that confidence to do that, to step into us, who we unapologetically are. And again, like that's where I'm like, these are like the values, because I like want to say so much more. It's like, we'll talk about like still setting healthy boundaries, and we'll talk about, still having healthy relationships, right? Because okay, I'm done there. Okay. Number 9, present conscious awareness living. Like choosing presence as in time, not gifts. Okay. Time is the one thing that we can never get back. And there's only one thing more important than our time here in this human experience. Like, because, we could take a whole other dimension here and say time doesn't exist. But no, I'm talking like time in this human experience. The only other thing that's more important than that is what we spend it on. And for me, as I'm sure for you too, like, it's being present with my family. It's being present to my needs. It's being present to their needs. It's showing my kids my attention and not half-assing anything, right? For me, it's simplicity and slow living. It's a part of who I am. So my presence is directs towards that route of like, how can I slow down? how can I make things simpler? But for you, it might look different. And one thing I do know for certain, like presence drives connection. And connection bridges a lot of gaps in hardships within relationships, and feeling whole, and leading with love, and feeling love. Okay, number 10. Number 10 is habits. Habits that aid in living in your energy of alignment. I can't answer these for you, what they are. I could give you ideas. If we're working together, I sure as heck, once I get to know you, your needs, your struggles, your desires, I could help you with what intentional habits, what mindful habits can be beneficial for you. But habits make up your reality. They make up how we live our day-to-day and how we respond, how we react. Our mindset loop is habitual. And a lot of times we know deep down when we have a not so good habit that's leading us off track from our destined path, or we're using that vice too much. Like we know deep down what quote unquote like habits should be broken, or what are good habits that we need to start taking up, right? Let it be health habits, time habits, mindful habits. Our habits make up how we live our lives. And it's within those habits that, you get into your flows, your rhythms, your routines. And all this comes together to form your unique journey into learning and living your energy of alignment. That's it. Like those are the 10 values. I didn't write down like any transitional anything within like this is what naturally empowered living is. This is what we work through if we work together, in mentorships, within group-like settings, within energy clearings. Like these are the core values, core cultural, just systems, not the right word, but you know what I mean. All coming together for you to help you find and learn and live in your energy of alignment. Because there isn't ever a one-size-fits-all. But I sure as heck believe that there are parallels with principles and rituals and how we show up to our lives to live in our unique energy of alignment that is filled with more calm over chaos, happiness over burnout, presence over brain fog, simplicity over stress, fulfillment over resentment. Our innate state is not stress and overwhelm and anxiety and overstimulation. Like it is the peace and presence and calm and happiness and love and balance. And it's coming back to that. So a recap of those 10 things, our 10 values, is number 1, a sense that you are never alone. You have a community here within Naturally Empowered Living. 2, wake up from autopilot. 3, think differently. 4, bring awareness and intentionality in everything you do. 5, do not allow spiritual bypassing, and it's not allowed here. Number 6 is balance can exist when we embrace the syzygies of life. 7 is honor all parts of yourself. 8, be you. I have that tattooed on my body. I feel so strongly about it. Number 9 is choose presence. 10, your habits define your life. All to help you learn and live your energy of alignment to live an authentic, amazing, fulfilling as heck life. Thank you for being here. Cheers to the 100th episode. This is such a huge milestone within this mission. Cheers. Yeah, woo. Thank you so much for being here. And as a special, let's just do a special giveaway, let's call it just a special celebration. I want to give you an opportunity to win a free energy healing meditative session with me. I am going to randomly choose 3 people who share this episode, or just the podcast, Naturally Empowered Living. Share this episode to your Instagram stories and tag me. My handle is at Naturally Empowered Living. Tag me by Wednesday, the 28th, so this is time sensitive. I'll announce on Thursday, the 29th. If you want a free energy healing session with me, yay, I hope so. I'll choose 3 random people. Just share it to your Instagram stories. That's all you got to do. And if you're listening after, I know this is time sensitive. If you're listening after, you still have a discount to use for a energy healing session with me. Use NEL community at checkout. You can grab the full link to book a session with me in the show notes. I'm jumbling over my words. I'm so excited. So go share this, share in the reason, because again, I'm not a big fan of social media, but I also know the power of networks, the power of connection, the power of community, and to be able to get this show in front of more people who need it, to create this ripple, to make this tidal wave, to make this ripple into a tidal wave of a mission to help spread the awareness into stepping into our power, into learning your energy of alignment, to live out your life how you want to live it, feeling good, right? To live out who you are unapologetically. You deserve that. So please, I'd be so appreciative to share this episode to your Instagram stories. Tag me at Naturally Empowered Living. I will announce the winner on Thursday, the 29th. And I can't wait to see you. Until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and so much light.
Did you find this episode relatable or empowering? Peace with my love of you.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. I pray this episode has brought you a step closer to tuning into your energy of alignment. And if it has, please consider leaving a written review sharing how this show has impacted you. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps other moms find their way to this community. And if it feels right, please share this episode with another mom who might be struggling to remind her that she's never alone. Be sure to check the show notes for more ways to connect and explore how we could work together to reclaim your power and deepen your relationship within. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.